Well, she had lots of long dresses and plastic bags, 47 pieces of luggage and all that. It was a little weird to accommodate all that. And plus her makeup, which even then was starting to get, it was lots of jars and everything. God, she spent lots of time. I remember when we went to the World's Fair, she spent about a good 2 hours in the ladies' room getting done up, and no one ever knew what she did because she always looked so good. But I guess she was vain or insecure. Everyone thought, oh, gee, it's a woman, I spent a lot of time. But, it was a lot of time she spent in there. We just wonder if she fainted or she just, fell asleep reading a book or what on earth. And she used to smoke lots of cigarettes and fill up lots of ashtrays. So that they were overflowing, and so, if you'd put one out, it would set the others on fire, and it would stink, and I always hated that. She was you could tell she was going to start fires. Then she'd met Andy, and then she started being very close with him, and I guess this is all in the papers and everything. When she started becoming Girl of the Year, and then she changed her hair, and she changed her look. Remember the first time he said he was going to do a screen test with her? I thought, what, gee, she's just another pretty face, I want to do that. And then we saw the screen test 2 days later, and it was just a revelation for everybody who was there. Because Andy had seen what she'd had that could be, come across on film, and being a great genius, and it was just magical. Of course, you could see where it was just the most irresistible and beautiful person. It was really, and from that point on, it was really reminiscent of Marilyn Monroe. I know you're going to hear this a million times, but it was really there. She had that little girl lost, beautiful, and just charming and lovable, And it really came across on the screen and bigger than life, As she was bigger than life. I guess it was some kind of early form of women's liberation that didn't have a name then, but they were so smart and beautiful and aristocratic and independent. I think of, Nico and Edie, Viva. They were I guess the Garbo and Betty Davis and all them would have been in the 30s in that system. They're really emergent women, they just stood out. Being women, they had the, option of being beautiful and sexual and all that. And then they were so smart that they were really as smart as any of the men around. And it was nice, and it was a relief in a way. They proved once and for all everything you ever knew, that women were as good, if not superior to men, period. She's always attracted and was attracted to the most brilliant and crazy people, the most brilliant people became her closest friends, like Donald and Undine and Chuck, and Andy. She was really like the poet's lady. And a lot of these people were, probably mostly gay, but they were in love with her. Seriously in love with her. I know Andy was in love with her.
Really?
Oh, yeah, definitely. He was as in love with her as any man could be with any woman. Whoever you were, next to her, you were strong in a way, because she was so weak in so many ways, and she was so strong in so many ways, After that, I remember her deteriorating, I think is the only word, because she was really into downs and into junk then. It's just an extension of if you carry all that helplessness and all that recklessness at the same time, so far. I guess it's no one is strong enough. And also no one is strong enough to be junk. That's where it's at, is that junk is smarter than anyone, no matter how smart you are. And she was very smart, but a lot of junkies I know have been very smart. But no one's been smarter than junk, that's the ultimate.